Now, I spoke about this very recently on Instagram, and it's certainly not my intention to repeat myself here, but I think there's no harm in going over this again. But maintaining a healthy calorie deficit, so not an absurdly aggressive one, as I'm always warning against, but maintaining a healthy calorie deficit is made so much easier when you had a high fiber diet. You know, compared to all the gym bro stuff, paleo stuff I was doing in the past, as you guys know if you've read, you know, my first book, Natural Food's the Only Diet You Need, or followed me for a little while here on YouTube. My goodness, it felt so depriving and so troublesome being in a calorie deficit in years gone by for me. When I moved over to this naturally high-fiber, plant-based way of eating, it's very hard to have a low-fiber diet when you eat plant-based. Extremely hard, I would say, if not impossible. You know, in terms of that satiation element, I mean, there's so many benefits to fiber, but primarily in terms of that satiation element that I felt I was so clearly missing with an animal product focused approach. I mean, it's unparalleled. It's absolutely amazing. And so my message to you today is, if you do want to lose weight, which that's probably why you're here, understand that maintaining a healthy calorie deficit is so much easier when you pack lots of fiber into your diet. Very simple stuff. Something you've heard from me before. Why though? Why? What are the actual mechanics behind this? If you've heard this before but you're not quite understanding why. Well, primarily, many benefits to fiber. I'll run through a couple more. But from a weight loss perspective, the thing that really stands out to me is fiber takes quite some time to digest. And so it winds up, in theory at least, allowing you to feel fuller for a longer period of time. So that's number one, is the fullness, as I mentioned earlier, the satiation element that you can tap into when you have a high fiber diet. Again, unparalleled compared to a low fiber diet when you have to maintain a calorie deficit. Now, there are many things that help one achieve satiation beyond just fiber, but the point I'm making here is that it plays, in my mind at least, a very integral role in that process. Other benefits to fiber from more widely, certainly a health perspective, but even a more wide weight loss perspective beyond just the satiation factor. There's this indirect impact to fiber. Many high fiber foods, as a result of their bulk, tend to have a very low caloric density. Now, there are exceptions, the notable one being nuts and seeds, of course, which high fiber, but comparatively high caloric density compared to, you know, fruits, veggies, whole grains, beans, and so on. However, generally speaking, the more you go up in that spectrum of fiber, the tendency is that you'll get lower calorie foods. So great rule of thumb there. There are anomalies, as I say, like nuts and seeds, but great rule of thumb there. So that's really important as well. Number two, fiber feeds friendly gut bacteria, which can play a huge role, if you don't know much about the gut, in dictating, your taste preferences, your cravings, and so on. We're learning more and more about the gut as we go here. Check out Dr. Zach Bush's work on the gut. Complex stuff, but really fascinating if you haven't looked into this so much before. Oh, and there's also that book, Fiber Fueled. I forget the author's name now, but that comes with very high plaudits indeed. And also, this is really important about fiber, helps fight inflammation. There's growing evidence to suggest that inflammation is linked to obesity, so that is encouraging as well. So fiber, generally speaking, brilliant more widely from a health and well-being perspective, but certainly in terms of maintaining, a manageable calorie deficit, you must tap into this. I really do encourage you. If you found the information in this video helpful, but you need that next level of instruction, support, and accountability to, number one, lose weight, number two, learn how to easily keep it off this time round, and number three, create healthy habits for life, click the link below. I'll tell you more about how I've helped over 300 men and women lose 10, 20, 30 or more pounds with simple plant-based meals without having to count or track their calories and with gentle exercise only. Click the link below this video.